to the Thunder Rooster Podcast. My name is Ron.
And I'm Paul, guys.
Welcome to us. If you haven't checked us out before, make sure you check out some of our earlier episodes. Maybe the newest ones will probably be a better starting point.
I'd agree with that.
But if you want to see some progression, then I suggest you go check out our earlier episodes. And, you know, we started from the bottom. Now we're kind of right in the middle now.
We're climbing the mountain.
We're
climbing.
Yeah. First off, I'd like to announce that we are getting very, very close to hitting our 100 subscriber mark on YouTube. So if you haven't already, do us a solid. Go to YouTube, subscribe to our channel.
It'd mean the world to us.
We would love to finally have a custom URL to our YouTube channel so we don't have to copy and paste every time we want to put a YouTube link or something there.
Yeah.
But yeah, also we're getting very close to 10,000 views on our channel, which is crazy to us.
It's just us.
Yeah.
I there's times where it's just mind-blowing to me that it's like, it's just you and me, and we've had 10,000.
Yeah. And I don't even know how many watch hours. There's a lot.
Thank you. That's all I'm going to say.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Real quick, I'd like to add before we jump into our episode details. We had a interesting progression possibly on our Lady Gaga video. And
say it.
All right, so apparently Lena Morgana's ex-boyfriend came across our video.
Allegedly,
yes. We will strongly say allegedly. I tried to reach out, gave him our email and stuff. You know, if you want to check out what he said, go to that YouTube video. It's in the comments. I'm pretty sure he commented on like everybody's comment on there. And, you know, we are definitely open to that conversation. So if you're watching this,
I was just say, if he or she, if they're listening,
yeah,
or they know, just comment back to us. We do want to hear from you.
Yeah, I sent them the info to our email and everything. Yeah. If it's real, I want to see some proof. I'm sure if they were close or whatever, they'd have at least some pictures together or something.
Right.
But yeah, that'd be an interesting development on that one.
I was shocked when I saw that too. I was like, wow, maybe there's some truth behind this.
Who knows? We'll see what happens.
We'll find out.
We hope you liked our Avril Lavigne episode. We had some fun with that one. Lady Gaga, Avril Lavigne. What pop star should we do next?
We have a whole bunch to pick from, so.
Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you saw from the intro, this week is a paranormal episode, and we are revisiting our, it's not really an annually or monthly thing. It's just something we do or will do throughout the year. This is our second time doing it. America's Most Haunted, Part 2.
Part 2.
But yeah, me and Paul.
Yeah, we picked a couple more.
Yeah, this time around, me and him just chose one because I know that we're trying to shorten down our episodes a little bit because a lot of people are more or less likely to hang around for like half hour to 45 instead of the hour long one.
Attention span. I'm right there with it.
Yeah, which I understand.
Sure.
You know, a lot of people listen, a lot of people watch the videos and stuff, and some do both.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool.
For sure.
I mean, sometimes you kind of have to with our show. You know, we have a lot of, you know, visual cues for things. And, you know, of course, our three.
You're missing out if you're not checking it out on YouTube.
Yeah. Our whole last section of our podcast is based on videos we watch and react to. So hit up our YouTube channel. Every Thursday, I release that week's 3 shots. So if you want to just skip through the whole banter of what we're talking about and just see the 3 shots at Funny, I have it available every Thursday. Or if you want to see everything from its entirety, just watch it when it comes out on Tuesday.
We're looking out for you guys.
Yep. All right, so in America's Most Haunted, Part 2.
Yeah, what are you going to talk about today?
This week I am talking about the Winchester Mystery House.
Never heard of it.
Never?
No.
Okay. I'm not surprised by that because it's not what I would call widely known per se.
I thought you were ready to just throw a dig at me, so I was preparing for that.
As you should. But, okay. I mean, So the thing that's special about the Winchester house is essentially it is from the family that created the Winchester rifle.
Awesome.
Rapid fire rifle company.
No kidding.
So, to give some background to this, essentially, so it all revolves around the wife, Sarah Winchester.
Okay.
And her husband ends up passing away from tuberculosis.
That
but
sucks.
even before that, they had an infant daughter that passed away from some kind of a children's disease called marasmus or something like that. It's marasmus. Marasmus.
You'd have probably a better chance of sounding that out than me.
But essentially, it's where the body kind of just deteriorates. You know, that's one of those diseases. So through the grief of her infant daughter dying and then her husband dying, she has deep depression. She ends up going and seeing a medium in Boston because they were living in New Haven at the time.
Okay.
In Connecticut, I think. So she goes to Boston, sees a medium, and apparently him channeling her husband who just passed, he had told her that she needed to go out west. Didn't say where specifically. She said go out west and begin construction on a house.
Oh.
And not to cease construction on that house because apparently all the spirits that have died from the rifle that the Winchester family made, and if she stopped doing that, like the spirits would get her, you know, essentially. So
no breaks, keep working.
Yeah, so she ends up going out there. She ends up in San Jose, California. The actual address for the Winchester house, if you want to look it up on Google Maps, it's 525 South Winchester Boulevard. It is open to the public now if you want to check it out. I might have to use my notes here. So they begin construction on the house, and they don't have... I think they started out with an architect, but because she kept throwing out so many things, which I'll get to, she starts the building process. So nonstop, every day. Okay, so it just keeps going. They end up firing the architect because she keeps trying to change stuff, and he's getting pissed off at her. And he's like, I don't want to fucking do this anymore. She's like, I don't care, change it. You know, so
interior designers, I swear.
So under her guidance, she's essentially telling these people what to do on a day-to-day basis. And construction goes all around the clock from the time they started in 1886 until the day she died on September 5th, 1922. So almost 40 years of construction.
How big is this place?
It is a mammoth of a place. Paul. Let's go into some details of this place. Okay. 161 rooms. 40 of them are bedrooms. They have 2 ballrooms. One's completed, one was never completed. This place has 47 fireplaces, 10,000 plus panes of glass, 17 chimneys, 2 basement levels, which I give her props on that. I've always wanted like a 2-story basement.
That's freaking awesome.
It has 3 elevators, and it is on 162 acres. Now, nowadays, in present time, it has gone down and shrank to 4.5 acres, and that's basically just the house itself, and any building that's on the property. Mm-hmm. So they just shrinked it up and sold off all the land around it. Right? So, essentially what happened when she died, she ended up giving it to her niece and I think her secretary. And what had happened was the niece decided to auction off all the furniture and stuff inside the house. So apparently it took 6 moving trucks working 8 hours a day for 6 weeks 6 weeks
to messed up.
All that stuff out of the house. Okay. So I'll get more into the haunting side of things.
Right.
Okay. So the thing of it is with this house, there's a lot that revolves around it. And I really wish I would have watched the Winchester movie that came out like a few years back because it talks about all this stuff.
Nice.
So I really wish I could have watched that sometime this week.
Damn it, Ron.
Didn't have time. Gosh, we don't have time.
We don't have time for anything anymore.
Okay, so Sarah would often have seances in her house, basically to try and channel and get guidance from the spirits to tell her what to do next.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Okay. And the way she did things, there was, I think there was 8 total bathrooms on the entire property. Only one of the toilets worked. And all the rest were decoys because she thought it was a way for the spirits to get confused. She had staircases that did not go anywhere, doors that didn't lead to anything to confuse the spirits.
Oh.
And because of such devotion to confusing the spirits, she would not sleep in the same room more than once. Like, she would sleep in one room and move. So she wouldn't stay in the same place twice. She would just keep moving each time. I mean, it's kind of crazy.
I know. I guess we had to be there.
So I couldn't find any actual haunting stuff that actually happened to Sarah. Maybe it was all just in her mind. Maybe it's from all the depression and stuff that she went through after her family was taken from her, essentially.
Could be.
So, anything that I found haunting wise was really kind of after the fact, where people would see a worker in the basement hauling a wheelbarrow. His name was Clyde or whatever, and they have a picture of him on a wall. I couldn't find it. They have it on the website, but I couldn't copy and paste it, so I may not be able to have it on here. I might have to screenshot it with my phone or something. So if I did that, it's for you guys. So a lot of the spookiness of the house is just the odd layouts. There's oftentimes they say they can't really even count how many rooms there actually are because, you would get lost. Which to me, you would think there'd be some kind of way you can document where you're going, leaving breadcrumbs, a string, something.
Sounds like this house is compliant to me.
I mean, there's some really bizarre things in this house.
It doesn't sound like the house is safe one bit.
Well, it's like the stairs even. Okay, Sarah herself, she was 4'11", so she's a small, tiny girl. So the ceilings are not high at all.
No.
And with me saying that, I will say, at one point, this place was 7 stories tall.
Good God,
and I'll show a picture here now of what it looked like when it was together. Unfortunately, there was an earthquake that happened in it happened in 1906.
That's no good.
And it destroyed the first 3 floors. So instead of deciding to rebuild them, they just ended up closing off access to that and never rebuild them. So it only stands 4 stories tall right now. But this place was actually done correctly in a way, being built, because they have it on a floating foundation almost. So it's not actually connected to the bricks of the foundation. So when it does have earthquakes, which happened to keep the whole property from crashing in on itself.
I mean, I guess it was a good thing.
Yeah, so it was very smart. There's a lot of architectural stuff in this thing that's really awesome. They even made some things that were innovations at the time. A flushing toilet. That was a new thing. Then
sounds pretty scary to me.
I want to get into more of this stuff at a later date with I want to devote an episode to this. Hopefully, maybe we can get a Rooster Travels out there. Who knows?
Maybe.
But with what I was saying with her being short, she had arthritis as well in her older age. And the steps of the stairs are only 2 inches tall. So when you see the staircase and stuff, it's only steps like that. So she could get up and down.
Right.
It's well, you've got 3 elevators. What do you need stairs for? But there's a lot of head-scratching moments with this thing.
I guess.
There's no rhyme or reason to it other than the fact she's just trying to appease spirits. So with also the guy in the basement, Clyde or whatever. You also have a guy that'll tug on your shirt or a skirt. A skirt tucker. Or tugger. Well, I guess his name apparently is Denny.
Danny?
Yeah, he was a maintenance manager for that place.
Danny the Tugger.
Yeah. But outside of just seeing shadows out of the corner of your eye or hearing footsteps that are either right in front of you or right behind you, there's really not a whole lot of evidence that it's actually haunted to this day. I just thought that the whole premise of the building of the structure itself, I will call it a structure, it's a massive, massive place. It's just crazy to me. Not only that, it's just like when her husband died, she inherited $20.5 million. This is back in 1881.
Oh my God, dude. So she's like a freaking billionaire at this point.
That was $550 million in 2020 currency. Okay, so that's with the inflation.
Pretty rich.
Plus, on top of that, she got 50% ownership over the Winchester company.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah, so that equals
rolling in the dough.
$1,000 a day in her time.
Jesus.
And nowadays that would be about $27,000 a day.
Wow.
So she had all kinds of money.
That's boss money.
Yeah. Like she was throwing money left and right. She paid their workers double.
See, that's cool though.
Than what everybody else.
That's cool.
Yeah, it really is.
That's good to hear that.
I mean, you'd have to do something to keep people just doing the same thing. And like you could spend all your energy to make this perfect thing, and then when it's all done, she's like, tear it down, I want to do something else.
Let's do it again.
How heart-wrenching would that be? I mean, that's a punch straight to the dick.
I don't care. Let's just start over and just rebuild on the property. Yeah. Thanks. I'll pay you guys double.
But I mean, the house looks amazing, but there was an environmental psychologist, which I didn't know that exists.
What?
An environmental psychologist that said that.
I'm sorry. Okay. Proceed.
Oh
my God.
So an environmental psychologist said.
Sorry. Okay.
I'm wrapping this up.
No, I'm good.
The environmental psychologist said that the odd layout of the house is what essentially accompanies the haunted vibe. Because it's so, yeah. He's like, yeah, man, it's got a really haunted vibe going on.
He's just looking outside. Yeah, dude, this is haunted.
Oh, my God. Well, yeah. So that was the Winchester bit. I would love to check it out. There's this amazing artist on YouTube. Her name is Christine McConnell. She actually did a whole replication of this place as a fucking gingerbread house.
Now,
go check it out. I will link that in the description.
The question is it easy accessible? Like, can we get there or like?
Yeah, or not? You can straight up go there.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll be right back after this short little message from Cheeky and Nacho.
What's up, everybody? Cheeky here from the Cheeky and Nacho podcast.
I'm Nacho.
Every Friday, we talk about movies, music, dicks.
My dick, mainly.
Yeah, his dick. We need a whole episode dedicated to that.
Yeah, it's that long that it's a whole episode. It's probably an hour, 2 hours maybe, of just my dick. I think Ron's trying to get it on camera.
It's like the technology isn't in there yet.
It's like a unicorn.
It's like a panoramic. It's like a double panoramic thing. All right. Anyways, yeah, check us out. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor,
any other podcast.
But we can't fucking remember what they are because nobody uses them, right, Nacho?
Exactly. And we're gonna be on YouTube soon, so check that out.
So you're gonna see all this sexy all the time.
Maybe my cock might peek out, but that'll be for something else.
Yeah. We're gonna do a special Pornhub channel.
We're gonna have an OnlyFans about my cock. Only cocks.
How much you gonna charge a month?
$35. It's a big dick.
A month?
Yeah.
It's a big dick.
I don't know. It's a fat cock, so.
All right, so that's fat prices for his fat cock. Check us out. Cheeky and Nacho podcast. Cheeky out.
Bye, guys.
All right, so we thought we'd bring you guys back with the definition of what is an environmental psychologist, because we were taken aback by that one.
I was.
So an environmental psychology is a study of transactions between individuals in their physical settings. The field defines the term environment broadly, encompassing natural environments, social settings, built environments, learning environments, and informational environments.
Blah, 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 blah. Hey, they make...
another way to charge you a lot of money for a whole lot of nothing.
They pay pretty well. I just saw that median's about $90K. Wow. Weird.
That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, so since we wrapped up with the Winchester.
I was going to say, was there anything else you wanted to share?
No, not really. I would really like to dive into it and do like a more like in-depth one one of these days, but we'll see. Let us know what you think. Do you want to know more? Because we could.
We could do that.
All right, what do you got for this round of America's Most Haunted?
Sure, absolutely. So we are going to focus on a place out in North Carolina, and it's actually quoted as the Devil's Tramping Ground.
North Crack-a-Likin'.
Yes.
Okay.
Very interesting. Just the outlining information. So basically what we're dealing with here is
what was it called again? The Devil's what?
Tramping Ground.
Tramping Ground?
Mm-hmm. That's what it's listed.
You said playground.
We could call, I mean...
That's why I'm glad I asked.
The Devil's Playground? Sure.
I heard playground.
Tramping Ground? Maybe
okay.
It was. Okay. So it's a campground, and you're an avid camper.
Yeah.
Outdoorsman. So it might be a fun place maybe one time to swing on by. It's a long drive, though.
It's interesting. A lot of the fun places to go see and stuff is usually named like the Devil's Butt Crack, the Devil's Den, the Devil's Arch. It's always something.
Right. So the campground, it's near Bear Creek, North Carolina, and the whole topic behind it is it's been subjected to persistent and local legends of like folklore, and allegedly that the devil actually, supposedly by legend, there is this... basically almost looks like a pit.
Okay.
And it's probably about a couple acres from behind when you actually lead in from the road.
Okay.
And it's about 40 feet in diameter. But the reason that we're bringing this up is that this particular area, there's been no vegetation for several hundred years is the folklore.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, why is that? Why is nothing growing there? So the urban legend from the people says that the devil comes out and walks in a circle.
Interesting.
To basically to basically come up with a plan to try to wreak havoc on Earth.
Oh, okay.
But what the weird thing that they said is that this particular spot, the soil hasn't been used. They said now in probably past situations, from labs and whatnot, there was like a deposit of salt, a lot of sodium.
Okay.
So the sodium is one part of it where actually the vegetation doesn't grow.
So it's just infertile soil, essentially.
Correct. And like I said, it's been several hundred years.
So is this just concentrated into one like area?
Yeah.
So they're not having any problems with growing vegetation because of sodium anywhere?
Everywhere else is fine. Now, the land is actually owned by homeowners, and they actually, just as of recently, when I was looking this up, they actually banned people coming by there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, because people come by, they camp out, they party, and then they don't clean up. And
so is this just like out in the woods or is it like off of a road?
So where you're at, so I don't know exactly the road, but over by Bear Creek, you can lead in to this campground area.
Okay.
And then it's like I said, it's got to be at least, an acre until you get to where it is, because there's a path.
Yeah.
But then you see like where everything is just kind of there animal-wise, and then there's nothing.
Okay.
So no animals go near there, supposedly. Yeah. Now, I watched a video, and I watched a husband and his wife with their dog just exploring, and they put the fire out, and they were just trying to nonchalantly see if the dog would go in to the pit area after it's been dried out and whatnot. Won't go near it.
Even the circle?
Won't go near the circle.
Oh.
But the dog wasn't scared at all.
Okay.
The dog owner was like, "Hey, come here, Luna, come on." Didn't think anything of that. Just wouldn't go in there. So they've used that. They've said that animals don't go near it and whatnot. So it was interesting. But again, the other part of the situation where maybe some of the people think that something potentially happened there years ago was that the spot is believed to be an ancient meeting place for local Native American tribes who made the bear circle with their ceremonial dances. So it could have been one of those things like, don't build on no Indian burial ground, or don't do this, or don't do that. Something could come out of it. Right.
We'll definitely include a picture of like a satellite image. That way we can all have a bearing on where it's located as compared to other areas.
Right. So really, that's the grand scheme of things. Now, they've had authors come by. They've had testimonies from locals, and you hear different things. Yeah. Some things are said, no, nothing's happened here. Other times people have said things have happened. So it's one of those catch-22s. It's just the idea that I would have thought for myself, it's like, if it's been several hundred years and you don't have anything planted there, why don't you give it a shot? But I'm not a horticulturist, so I don't really know the ins and outs. But obviously, if you're going to, lay down new seed or whatever, it's going to cost some money to try to grow something. So another thing is, why don't they try that? How can they, rid of the sodium? Yeah. I don't know anything about that.
Is there any like overnight stories?
Well, here's what
anybody try to camp like.
Yeah, so I have a couple stories that I saw on here. One, a person had indicated this about 9 months ago when they made their trip there before this all changed. It says, very interesting and eerie how silent the area is. Beware, there is a GPS glitch that takes you to the gate with no trespassing. Yeah, we've been in that situation, right? It's like they do it purposely. Wrong gate. It says the real gate's 500 yards down the road. It is a larger pulled off, and the gate is small and red, not silver and red. Worth the drive, and we were planning to go back for a longer stay. So then the other ones that I came across, and this was like someone said here, I drove an hour to come here, and this place didn't live up to the so-called hype. I thought it was closed due to the private property sign. I read comments on this, and they said you can still go in, but you can't drive up there. I mean, there's not much to be seen here, just a small empty spot in the woods. It was a lot cleaner than I expected, though, so that's a huge thumbs up, and we ran into some more people while I was there. I think it might be a little more thrilling to go at night, but I still don't know if it's worth an hour and a half drive, whatever. But one of the things, and I'll read this one from this person, was that part of the legend is that in that circle, if anything goes in that circle, it comes out the next day. Now you ask yourself a question, what if someone just put a beer bottle or a beer can and no one's there and it just happens to go outside of the circle? Yeah. The weird thing that I heard was, and again, I cannot attest to this, but somebody had mentioned that they did an overnight camping trip there and put their tent inside the circle, woke up the next day, everyone was fine in the tent, but the tent wasn't in the circle.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right? Wow. So here's this one. This is from a person right here. Today, this was actually in February of this year. Today, my family and I, with our dog, visited the Devil's Tramping Ground. It was eerily quiet. No birds, squirrels, not even ants. I mean, that's pretty. On our way out, our dog kept looking up and at the tree, whimpering with her ears back and tail not wagging. On our way back to our vehicles, everything seemed fine until it wasn't. I unlocked all 4 of my car doors with the remote, put our dog in the car, and put the key in the ignition, but didn't start it. I closed the door out of habit, but when I went to open it again, all 4 of the doors were locked with our dog inside. This was freaky since my doors don't lock by themselves, and if you accidentally lock the doors, the car won't let it happen. Like you push the lock and the lock pops back up. I couldn't believe the car was locked. I had to call AAA so they could unlock my car. Our dog is safe and sound, but I'm fully expecting to experience strange things for a little bit after this adventure. And then the last one I had here says, a few friends and I camped there a few years back around 2009. We slept, or I'd say more or less laid there in a circle in a tent all night. Nothing moved us, but got really weird after that. My radar detector would go off, making noises not even in the programming and completely out of the power source. For months it started that night. I still use that thing, but after a few weeks of torment, it has never done it again. Remember, it went off many times unplugged. Something weird is there, but nothing messed with our tents, thank God. Fun experience, but I'll never go back. So, take it for what it's worth, but it's just like the folklore of the residents are like, the devil comes out when he feels like it, and he just goes in a circle and he plots the end of destruction.
I mean, we have to think though how much how good people's imaginations can be.
100%.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's like even when I watch a scary movie or something, if it's not during the daytime where I can fill my head with other things, by the time I get to bed, I'll be sitting there listening for every little creak. Thinking I see stuff out of the corner of my eyes and stuff like that.
That's why you don't watch shit at night.
It's like we went to Dice Road. I still don't. I mean, I did see something, but it wasn't nothing there. I didn't get anything on video. I didn't see anything when I turned my head, but out of the corner of my eye,
you knew what you saw.
I saw.
And I know you, man. You're not going to just make something up.
I
just know you wouldn't.
Made up because I'm still scratching my head like I don't know what that was. Luckily, I haven't had any experiences or anything like that. It was just one of those things just caught me off guard.
But North Carolina Department of Agriculture actually did some samples on the area, and basically what they came up was they did the samples, and it says here they compared the different paths. And they're basically saying the theory was that there were mills around that area years ago. So you had your mills, and then probably beforehand was the inner barrier ground. So they were just testing that it was just a lot of sodium. And when you have salt, you can't grow anything.
Right. Maybe it was like a waste part where they would get rid of ammonia or.
Yes. It says most plausible explanation from the soil studies. It says samples of earth taken from the bear path proved to be sterile due to an extremely high salt content. It says the remains of the natural salt licks were also found in the area. So they don't even, they can't even categorize other than they just do the testing and they, can see what's.
They just don't fucking know.
They don't know. They don't know. So, again, that's just one of those, at least a couple people have had some instances. That situation with your dog getting locked in there.
I think the whole part where the whole fucking tent with everybody included ended up getting moved out of the circle.
Of course, but it's like
I wonder if there was any drags, drag marks, or if it just appeared out of the circle.
I don't believe it. But I mean, anything is possible.
I will say for this one, it's not something I would go out of my way to go see, but if we were in the area...
Oh, sure. Let's take a little stop, but
100%.
I don't want to drive there.
No, that's not worth our old man time.
No. That's about 12, 14-hour drive, I think.
Oh, man. So that was...
It's the Devil's Tramping Ground, baby.
Devil's Playground.
Called the playground.
What if it's one of those cases where really it's just where the devil goes to jerk off in the middle of the night? It's his seed that falls on the floor that makes it where nothing grows. He just comes out, walks in a circle, and beats off.
And you can hear him. He's yelling so loud.
He's thinking about baby seals getting clubbed. Just.
Oh, the end of the world is really exciting me.
A hand job like an aggressive gorilla. All right, with that note, we'll get to our 3 shots at funny.
Do it.
I'll never get over that.
No.
All right. So
my wife's week, right?
Yes, it's Kelly's week.
That's right. Okay. Moving on.
Hers, you said, was Band Together.
Yes.
Correct?
Band Together.
All right. Let's check this out.
I have a question. Does anyone know how to actually use these things? Because I seriously have no idea.
Now, mind you, that's never happened to me, thank God, but I'm sure it has to some others. But
oh, now I get how is this guy not famous? It was like, wow, let's watch that again.
I have a question. Does anyone know how to actually use these things? Because I seriously have no idea.
Have you ever been hit and fart from fucking getting hit?
Not like that. Oh, no.
I got kicked in the stomach one time from a kid at my mom's daycare, and I ripped one so hard.
No.
It was so
I'm
funny.
sure that'll come at one point
Yeah.
down the road. I don't wish that upon anyone, but
Farts are funny.
farts are funny.
Merch available at thunderbreaster.com.
What do you have for me today?
All right. So mine is called Kiki. This guy doing a little Kiki video. Doing it wrong. Oops. I love it every time. Every freaking time. Let's just get to the part where he rolls over himself.
He's like, I got a sick truck. I'm moving, I'm down. And that shit got hurt too, dude.
It slams. He eats asphalt. Oh, that momentum just from getting your freaking leg.
Like 20s or 22s. That's gonna hurt.
So bad.
Okay.
All right, what do you got for me?
Mine for you this week is called Friggin' Truck.
Friggin' truck.
Oh my God, it's a truck carrying a truck carrying a truck carrying a truck.
Guys, obviously never seen that before.
Do it again. It's gonna record time.
Oh my God, it's a truck carrying a truck carrying a truck carrying a truck.
I would do the same thing. I've never seen like four of the same vehicle.
You know what that reminds me of? Fucking Ford Ranger.
I know this truck. I ain't no stranger. I know that truck. That's a Ford fucking Ranger.
That's what I was thinking. I saw it. I mean, I've never seen that. Like anytime I've been on the road, I mean, I see the flatbed trucks and they got all sorts of different cars, but I've never seen four of the same trucks.
Oh, dude, you think that's funny?
I mean,
You should be driving.
I'm a city
out,
boy. I don't know.
You should be driving out on like Interstate 10 or I-40 going out west, and like there's a bunch of guys from not this country, and they'll be driving like the smallest little like Toyota truck, and it's pulling like 3 or 4. And they're being pulled by straps. Like, I don't know how it works. Like, I didn't even see anybody in the other one. So I was like, how is this going to slow down?
Oh, dear God, dude.
Apparently, they'll buy trucks and stuff like that at auction.
But seriously, have you seen like a flatbed that's carrying the same fucking truck?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
My dad was a truck driver. I've never
seen
before.
I've seen all different variations. I've never seen the same fucking truck.
I just love the guy's enthusiasm.
Oh, absolutely. I was like, I've never seen that, so you fooled me, buddy. That's awesome. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Oh, man. So I'm gearing up because tomorrow, me and Paul here are coming back to the studio to work on some music together. You guys will see the fruits of that coming on August 14th. Stay tuned. It will be glorious.
Wait, we can't put it out earlier?
No. I need to edit it, and then we got a pretty awesome interview coming up pretty soon. It'll be our first ever Zoom.
No, I know. Okay. Not about the interview. I'm thrilled about that, but we got to get it in before.
Don't be a bitch ass. We planned this. All right, so the black... I can't say what it is because I still don't know if we said what it was. Should we say what we're doing?
No, we told them.
Did we?
We told them several weeks back.
I don't even remember that.
That's okay.
I'm pretty sure we didn't. I didn't say what it was last episode.
See what happens when you hang around me? You start to forget shit. I'm
telling you, man. It's rubbing off on me. Apparently.
I'm kidding. No.
Yeah.
Definitely, let's take the opportunity now. All
right, so we are doing a cover for the 30th anniversary of the Black Album from Metallica.
As if you guys know or don't know, we are huge fans. Yes. And this was actually something we've talked about this for a long time, guys.
Yep.
Not to bore you with it, but
30 seconds, Paul.
This was the best opportunity we had. 30 years. Let's celebrate it.
And we are covering Wherever I May Roam. And when I say covering, we are doing the full song.
Will you
be me because Paul's never recorded before.
Will you be my Bob Rock?
Yeah, I will.
I'm scared.
As you should be. All right, everybody. We love you. Thanks for checking us out. Rate, like, and subscribe. We will see you fucking next Tuesday. He's thinking about baby seals getting clubbed. Just